The train don't run here anymore.
We all waved and we'd see a train leave from the station. And sometimes we'd go and see people off and we'd never see them again. Either they'd bring them back in a box or we would never see them again.
All I can remember is when we come from Montmorency on the train. That was the only transportation we had. And our uncle would meet us at the train.
So it was a glorious time back there for children because we didn't have too many places that we could go. But we could walk down there freely without anybody bothering anybody.
They tortured the land, called it progress of man. Now they're gone like the wind blowing the sand. The train don't run here anymore.
This project had its beginnings when Mac and I were on the committee for 2000 in Aiken, which was to come up with some new ideas to liven up things for the new century that was coming to us.
We feel very rewarded now that we've come this far, and we are going to see that the building is rebuilt much like it was in 1898.
Why rebuild the Aiken Railroad Depot? What bearing can our past have on the future of our city and county? To answer these questions, we must look back at our rich shared history and see that this building will be more than bricks and mortar. It will be a gateway to economic opportunity, as it was when the railroad first created Aiken in 1833. It will shine as a beacon of history for school children of Aiken and Aiken County and from across the state who want to learn about the part that our area played in building our nation. Take a moment to explore the possibilities of this exciting initiative aimed at revitalizing this area of historic Aiken, generating tourism revenue for both the city and county, and providing a unique educational opportunity for school children and adults alike. Aiken County Council Chairman Ronnie Young feels very strongly about the positive impact of a rebuilt Aiken Depot.
I think it's vitally important that we preserve the history of the railroad in Aiken County, it being one of the premier aspects that brought the industrialization to this area. I think it being on the Heritage Corridor is a win-win for Aiken County, City of Aiken. Certainly the economic benefit is good, but I think the educational portion to our children and let them learn where their roots are, where they came from, and where we are today pertaining to the railroad would be a very important asset.
The clang of steel on steel, hammer on spike, resonated throughout the tiny hamlet that would become Aiken, South Carolina. Without much fanfare, but with a lasting and profound impact, the world's longest steam-powered railroad had set the stage for a unique city, steeped in the culture of both North and South. Driving the last spike of the South Carolina Railroad and Canal Company into the rails at this spot cemented a marriage between commerce and the future city's prosperity. The coming of the railroad lifted Aiken from a small, landlocked collection of cotton plantations to the epitome of a bustling 19th century town. Why certain areas were chosen as railroad stops is often the subject of legend. Aiken's is said to be the direct result of the marriage of survey engineer Andrew Alfred Dexter of Boston and Henrietta Sarah Williams, daughter of wealthy plantation owner William W. Williams. Apparently smitten by Sarah's charms while he stayed at the family's Chinaberry plantation on Whiskey Road, Dexter asked Williams for the fair Sarah's hand in marriage. But the answer from the shrewd future father-in-law, who saw the value of the shining rails running along his fields, was, "No railroad for me, no Sarah for you," and the tracks were soon laid beside the Williams land. Others say Dexter's new route was simply shorter by 13 miles, riding over rather than around the tip of the last ridge of the Appalachians upon which Aiken sits. Whatever guided the hands of Dexter, fellow engineer Cyril O. Pascalis and their boss, Chief Engineer Horatio Allen, who was also Chief Construction Engineer of the Brooklyn Bridge, the first train stopped beside Chinaberry Land in October 1833. Dexter and Pascalis collaborated yet again when the railroad company commissioned them to lay out the city of Aiken in 1834, named for William Aiken, president of the railroad company. Their vision created a unique city with 150-foot wide avenues serving 27 4-acre lots, and the town became the center of a booming backcountry trade. Aiken Chamber of Commerce President David Jamison believes the new depot will be as much an economic engine as the first one was.
8 out of every 10 people that come into the chamber are either looking to move here or looking to find out more about Aiken, and they want to see all the points of interest, and Aiken is blessed with points of interest. The depot will be another tool in that tool bag. It will be new, it will be attractive, it will talk about the heritage of this community, as so many other things do. But as part of the process, as part of our product, it will draw tourists to this community.
Nearly 50 years later, the second Aiken Passenger Depot served as a portal of the winter colony, wealthy northern families who set up residences in Aiken to escape harsh, cold winters. They brought many of the finest threads that have been woven to make the complex tapestry that is Aiken today. We still enjoy their legacy. Aiken mayor and history buff Fred Kavanaugh reminds us that the winter colony might have overlooked the city they transformed had it not been for the rails that brought Thomas Hitchcock, William Whitney, and their friends here each fall.
The connection between the winter colony and the railroad was one of which enabled the winter colony to come to Aiken. Aiken Preparatory School, for instance, the Famata School for Girls, Hitchcock Woods that we now enjoy, 2,000 acres, all of that, plus Rye Patch and Hopeland's Gardens. These are things that were enabled to us to enjoy today from members of the winter colony.
Beatrice McGee carries on the tradition of the proud and vital work of Martha Schofield at the modern school that still bears her name.
I think the new depot will be a wonderful resource for our children. South Carolina's social studies standards include studying the history of the state of South Carolina, and this is a bit of local history accessible to us in walking distance that children will have access to see firsthand and have a hands-on experience. It'll be great.
Imagine a state-of-the-art, hands-on history museum where school children from across the state will come to learn about South Carolina's role in pioneering the modern railroad system in the United States. Imagine the children of Aiken County who will be inspired by a trip to the rebuilt Aiken Depot with its captivating interpretive center and exhibits. Wade Brody of the Aiken Corporation sees a rebuilt depot impressing visitors and driving the growth of Aiken's successful downtown redevelopment campaign to the east, revitalizing the entire area.
We think with all of these entities located in this area that will help redevelop the other property. The downtown generally can only grow to the east. We're blocked to the west somewhat, to the north and to the south, so it's just natural for downtown Aiken to grow in this direction.
Others, like City Council member Beverly Clyburn, look to the depot to energize neighborhoods on the eastern edge of the city's downtown.
And that depot will serve as the hub of this area. Visitors to this area will be able to see and discover what we've known for a long time about the beauty in the center of the city of Aiken.
The All Aboard campaign is a bold 5-year program to recreate the old Aiken Railroad Depot as closely as possible in downtown Aiken, on the very spot where it once proudly stood. Campaign General Chairman Tim Simmons believes the depot will be enjoyed for generations.
The two main things of this railroad depot that we feel are important is filling the gap in Aiken's history, the educational aspect, and the quality of life that this will provide for the citizens of Aiken. Also, increase in tourism, economic benefit. It'll just be a wonderful facility for this community and something that will be enjoyed for generations to come.
This $3 million investment will consist of construction costs for the depot and baggage buildings, a catering kitchen, and the restoration of 2 dining cars totaling $2.4 million. Educational exhibits detailing the stops along the Charleston to Hamburg Railroad line totaling $500,000 and $100,000 for the building's furnishings. Barry Adams, the All Aboard Advanced Division Chairman, can't wait to take his grandchildren to this unique facility.
I am absolutely convinced that this depot project will immediately become one of Aiken's most treasured assets. I look forward to the time when I can bring my grandchildren to this facility and be able to show them the foresight of a group of businesses, of the city and county governments, and a lot of individuals who have chosen to make an investment in this wonderful project. If this is an opportunity which you would like to take advantage of, then I encourage you to join me and a host of other folks in investing in Aiken's future.
Press Ray, the Campaign Leadership Council Chairman, sees the depot enriching the quality of life for all of Aiken's citizens.
We see the All Aboard initiative as the next big step in the move toward an expanded, beautiful downtown center, an area where people will want to come to play, to visit, to learn. And I ask each of you to study the benefits of the All Aboard initiative, to look at the details, to look at the benefits to Greater Aiken. And I challenge each of you to make an investment in the continued enrichment of our community so that we are all aboard.
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 Our city is unique. Our history is unique. And today, we are in a unique position to rebuild the very heart of Aiken. Steel on steel, hammer on spike. Once again, history is in the making. And by getting on board, you can embrace your heritage and enrich our future.